हेलो गाइस। आज यहाँ पे मैं अपनी यूट्यूब चैनल पे एक पॉडकास्ट करने जा रहा हूँ। और उस पॉडकास्ट में मैं अपने एक फ्रेंड्स है उनको इनवाइट करना चाहूँगा। हिज नेम इज सागर एंड he knows how we can tackle different things in Canada. So welcome to my friend Sagar. Sagar,
Yes, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for joining and taking time to join this podcast. We will, discuss some of the topics regarding your experience here in Canada. So, like, you are living in Canada since 2019, right?
I came here for my master's studies in
Okay.
September 2019. So this month only I completed my 3 years. Yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
wonderful. Congrats on completing,
Yeah.
3
Thanks.
years. Sagar, tell me about your experience. First of all, how do you feel about your decision to come in Canada? And let's discuss about that, and then we will move to like different topics, like you know how's your experience in your university life, and when you come into Canada. So like some of people I might experiencing different types of trouble to finding the right place to live in. So I guess you found like a good places to live in. From our conversation lately, you said like you have experience to find about like 8 or 9 houses in different location in Ontario. So let's talk about this.
Yeah, so initially I was doing job in India. I was working there as an operational excellence engineer in a very reputed company there. Salary was good. But I just wanted to settle here in Canada, and with that goal only, I started, like scoping out what is the mechanical engineering field job outlook here. So after finding out few universities, I decided to start my masters here. I completed my masters within 1.5 year. Means it took around 2 years just because I also did my co here. So yes, university was very good. So let's say for mechanical engineers in Ontario, as Ontario is known as like it's a manufacturing hub for the car
Yeah.
manufacturers here, and Windsor is very famous for the car manufacturing. It's called Manufacturing Hub of Ontario.
Right.
So yes, there are a lot of industries there. My university, so I graduated from University of Windsor, and it has got a lot of ties with the nearby companies. So getting cope, it was also very easy, and a lot of students, especially Indian students, are there. Professors are good. I would say they are providing great facility there, and so lot of factors were like positive. So I opted for University of Windsor as my like master for my master's course. And yes, so overall it was very good experience. And then for finding a field job, it took some time. I would say it's 5 to 6 months for me, but now I'm in a good position. Like I have a better position in my field with a good salary. Yes.
Okay, that's wonderful. Like you are getting settling in Canada, and and after ups and downs in your life. I know
Yes.
everybody has like ups and downs in their life, but that is very important to tackle those things, those troubles in life, and stay strong every time. That attitude is very important to have in our life. So.
Correct.
What is your experience in the University of Windsor, like, right? So, which course, did you take there? And for the mechanical engineer, in our country, in especially Gujarat, like many people are, graduated from this stream. So, so can you please like elaborate about mechanical branch and especially the opportunity for mechanical student? Those are coming from India or like Gujarat. So that would be help those people.
Yes. So first of all, see, when wherever you go, whichever country you go, first thing is mechanical engineering is like it's an evergreen field.
Yeah.
Yes, back in India, a lot of students are graduating, with this specialization. A lot of engineers are there, and nowadays, a lot of people are coming from Gujarat, especially from Vadodara, Ahmedabad, and Surat. From those areas, means from southern, eastern side of the Gujarat, a lot of students are coming here. So when we consider the mechanical engineering job outlook here in Canada, it is very very trending and very prosperous, I would say. So if I name few of the provinces here in Canada which are best for the mechanical engineers, I would say first comes Ontario,
Yeah.
second one Quebec.
Hmm.
Yes, in Quebec, there are some language barriers. The third one is Alberta, and
Yeah.
the fourth one is British Columbia.
Yeah.
Yes, Manitoba is also good, especially for the agriculture equipment manufacturing. But yes, Ontario comes first. So, yes, so in Ontario also, like from Windsor to Toronto side, like there are lots of industries. Like if I name let's say here, especially in Ontario, car manufacturing is more
Yeah.
comparatively.
Automobile companies are there,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
yes. Someone who is interested in designing field, yes, it's also very good scope here in Ontario. So someone who is in automation side or the PLC side, yes. So it's a good scope here in Ontario. Yes, I would say. But if we consider the median salary of any normal mechanical engineer, let's say who is having 3 to 5 years of Canadian experience here, Alberta comes first because
Hmm. There are many
there's
industries over there,
yeah,
right?
and especially yes, there are some taxation benefits there in Alberta, and another thing is salaries are high compared to Ontario, but uh, number of jobs, I would say it's bit less than Ontario. Yeah.
Okay. So that is good. So you completed a course from University of Windsor, and how did you get the co-op? Is it included in your program, or can you, let us know about that thing?
Yeah, so basically in 2018, I appeared for my IELTS score and I got 7 bands overall.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's that much great, but it was okay because I didn't went to means I didn't go for any IELTS class and I was just studying on my own at home for the IELTS. So somehow I managed to get 7 bands with the hard work because it was very difficult for me to devote time, apart
Yeah.
from beside my ongoing job,
Right.
and I got 7 bands. So I was meeting the eligibility criteria at that time for at least for pursuing masters in different universities. So a few of the universities that I listed down, those were like University of Concordia, University of Windsor, then there were few like 4 to 5 different universities, and University of Windsor only was providing the co-op.
Okay.
And and I did some research and I got to know that having a Canadian experience, even if it is an internship,
Right.
it adds a plus point towards your Canadian experience.
Yeah.
So I wanted to have Canadian experience, and that can be possible with the help of the co-op only. So I tried hard at the time. I applied for co-op. There was one questionnaire form that was sent by the co-op department from the University of Windsor. So I filled that form. There were around 15 different questions based on my. So they just wanted to screen my technical and managerial skills. So I took around 1 to 2 weeks to answer those questions. I did research. Uh, I wrote down all these answers of those questions and I submitted that form. And on the day of submitting my visa only, I received,
Yeah.
confirmation that I have been selected for the co-op. And uh, I'm not sure exactly, but in my batch, there were around 150 to 180 students were there, and
Oh.
only 2 students were
Okay,
selected for the co-op. And yeah, so I would
that's great,
say,
man. That's
yeah,
great.
yes, I would say it's not that much big achievement, but yes, considering the academic, yes, it was a very pretty good, like, yes,
Yeah.
I would say it
It,
added plus point to my
like having a co-op,
career,
like while you are coming to, Canada, that is like a plus thing in your
especially
prof.
for
Yeah, yeah,
master students.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it's hard to get co-op, for master students compared to the bachelors. So yeah, so,
So that was like wonderful. And how's the co-op process working for that? Like got interview from, a university, or you have to reach out to the different company to, approach them, or like how it work?
so see, basically for the co-op, so let's say if there is any position in any company,
Hmm.
so all bachelors and master students both are competing for that position.
Yeah,
Yes, so yes, Keval. So see, basically here the co-op interview process, it's a long process, I would say. So and co process is same entirely. It's the same for
yeah,
all the universities. So basically, for me, we used to have one co department in our university, and they will have different. They will have tie-ups with different nearby companies or the Ontario-wide or Canada-wide companies. So every 2 weeks they used to post some positions,
yeah,
and for those positions all bachelors and master students used to compete for them. So it's not like, let's say if there is any posting in any company, it's not like only for University of Windsor students are eligible to apply for that position, but all the universities within Canada are applying for the same position.
so you are
So for, yes, so
you
for
are,
that
you are
position,
competing like with different student, different people
yeah,
around the.
different students from
Yeah,
the different universities,
yeah,
uh, they can be bachelor students or master
yeah,
candidates, but one criteria is they should be in a co program.
right.
Yes, so that is the main thing. So basically, so let's say every 2 weeks we used to have some positions and we used to apply for that, and then our job application will go to the employer. They will shortlist, you out to the employer, and we can ask for some sort of information. Let's say I'm right now in Go program. Is there any way I can work at your company? Is there any ongoing Co program, or in which I can enroll? And let's say if it goes right, then yes, we can be hired by that employer. So yes, both ways are possible, and that depends on which employer hires you. And so and yes, so once the employer hires you, we used to have rating system. So let's say for every interview or to every employer, we used to rate, and the employer will also rate us.
Okay.
And we used to have some sort of combination number, and based on that combination number, we were hired by the employer. So it's not
Hmm.
like any employer can hire us; they can rate us,
Okay.
but based on that combination of the different numbers and what final number we are getting, we will be enrolled in different positions at different companies like that.
Okay. So is there a like any listing for the like people over there, like the it is like the cutoff listing or what?
Let me just give you one example. So let's say there are two candidates, or let's
Yeah.
let's say there are three candidates, one, two, three. They are giving interviews at three different companies. Let's
Yeah.
name these three companies A, B, C.
Okay.
So number two candidate also appeared for interview at A, B, C companies.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how this selection process works? So candidate one, two, three, they will give rating, like out of 10, they will give rating to three different employers. And the same thing for the employers also. They will rate candidates based on, like, out of 10. So
Okay.
let's say there is a candidate number two. He's giving rating to A company, let's say 6, then company B 7, and company C 8.
Okay.
And let's say the company A gives candidate number two a rating of 6.
Okay.
So it's a 6 into 6, 36.
36. Right.
Let's say B company gives candidate number two rating of 8. So
Okay.
yeah, so 8 into 7,
Yeah.
because number two
Yeah.
candidate gave rating of 7. So 8
Yeah.
into 7 is
56.
56. And
Yeah.
then let's say for D, it was the rating that was given by candidate 2, that was 8,
8.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
let's say that candidate number 2 getting rating of 8. So
Yeah.
here the total number is 64.
Yeah.
So if you look at three numbers, 36, 54, and 64, which number
56.
is the
56 and 64. Yeah.
yeah, and but here the lowest number is 36.
36.
So that candidate number two will go to the company A,
Why?
just because that number is minimum. This is how this combination works.
So
So on
why
the day,
why
so
they are
this is
not like selecting the higher number?
the way.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is very strange.
yeah,
Okay. First come first, like if you came to Canada, you have to find some accommodation, right? So when you came to Canada, right? So how did you find your accommodation, and what points do you consider while you selecting the accommodation? So is it should be like near to the part-time job place, or it should be near to the university place? And so can you please elaborate on this thing?
yeah. So first of all, see, I was working in GMM company back in India, and I had my one of colleague whose friend also got admission in University of Windsor, and
Right.
he came in May, in fact, and
Right.
yes, and I was supposed to come here in September.
Mm-hmm.
So I contacted that guy who already was here in Canada. I asked him for like this same university, what should be the good place there, like because see, I wanted to have my rental space within my budget. So at the
Right.
time, uh, I was I was not willing to pay more than 230 at the time. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about like 2019.
19. Yeah.
So that friend had a lot of ties here. He was in contact with a lot of people, and I got few options, like a few list of different houses where rooms were available, and one of room I select finalized just
Okay.
because it was just 1.2 kilometer from my university, and rate was like monthly rent was also less. So I finalized that one. So that was one of the reasons. So but nowadays those who are coming because they are not looking for rental houses near to their university. Maybe one of the reason, maybe let's say nowadays classes are online. So let's say
Okay.
I have seen some students, let's say they are studying in University of Windsor, but they are living in Toronto just because job scope is very good here in Toronto.
But
So
nowadays, like in person things are happening. So we have to consider this option as
yeah,
well.
yeah. So first of all, I'll say, so let's say whoever comes here, because see, whoever comes here, like they are finalizing their rental house, like prior to coming here. So they don't have any options sometimes. Let's say they don't know what are the factors they should be considering. But one of the factor I would consider that, yes, the proximity of your location house
Yeah.
from the university, it shouldn't be more than, I would say, 5 kilometers. If the infrastructure is good, let's say bus service is good or
Right.
transportation service is good, then it's okay to live in outskirts. And that depends on the where you are living. Let's say if it is
Right.
a town, it's fine. If it is a metro city like Toronto, then definitely chances are very high that you might end up paying around 6 to 700
Yeah.
for one room if you wanted
More
to
than
have.
that. More
Yeah,
than that.
even I would say more than that.
Yeah.
So yes, so the only option that that is left for them is like to live little bit far from the universities. I would say in the suburban area or outskirts of the metro city,
Yeah.
and we will be dependent on the
Transportation.
transportation
Yeah.
system. Yeah, so that's the only thing. But here we will save a lot of money. So let's say the bus transportation pass, monthly pass, it's not gonna be more than 130, I would say.
Yeah.
But definitely if you are living a bit far, let's say 15 or 20 kilometer away from the university, then maybe instead of paying 7 to 800 per room, you will be paying maybe 500 only. So here you are saving 300, and if you
Yeah.
deduct that bus pass price, still it's a saving of 150 for the student. So
Right.
I'd say it's a great
But
number.
bus pass is like, given by the like university, so that not be the case. uh
Yes.
yes. Yeah.
Yes, correct. But depends. Some colleges charge nowadays, some not. So depends on the college or university.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, that is the great point there. So like, do you choose to live with like the Indian people, or I would say the Gujarati people, or do you like to explore a bit, and you would like considering living in different community, like in Canada?
Yeah, so see, after coming here in Canada, I'd say that yes, I wanted to adapt myself with the Canadian culture. I know in many cities, I'm hearing some sort of like racism incidents. It happens, but I'm very flexible. I don't think so that it's one of the big issue for me, like living with any non-Indian or non-Gujarati people. I'm very flexible. But one of the issue that we may face, especially when you are living with a student, that is like how you are gonna cook,
Right.
because you will be cooking in like sharing or like all
Yeah.
together. So yes, if you are living with any non-Gujarati or non-Indian, then it will be bit difficult, I'll say,
Yeah. If you are not
to cook.
vegetarian,
Yeah, yeah.
in that
Even in
case.
Gujarat, also like
Yeah.
there are many guys, just because of their religious obligations, they are even not eating ginger and garlic. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
it happens. So if everyone's okay, then it should be fine. But this is one problem that most of the students face, and that is one of the reason that like in Ontario, all Indian students prefer to live within their community people
Their
only.
community people.
Yes,
So
yes.
so that is important, like so
Mm.
they don't have to cook alone, or they can save
Separately,
some
yeah.
time. So
Yes.
yeah. So that is a great point there. And like for the accommodation purpose, like we can find the accommodation from different social media website, right?
Yes.
For example, we can find it from like you know Facebook, and we Facebook have different groups, so we can
Mm,
find that from the Facebook
mm,
different group. Also, we can find it from Kijiji. So can you
mm.
please let me know like different things, or different places
Sources.
where sources we can find those things.
Uh, Basically, the major platforms are there are three different options. One is like your referrals. So let's say if you know anyone here in like personally, you can of course reach out to them. You can ask for the what are the possible options available for the rental rooms. But uh, that is not that much reliable, and I'll say it's hard to get the appropriate house with that option. But mostly I'm using Facebook Marketplace, and the second one is Kijiji. So let's say for my current job, I wanted to have my rental place like within 3 kilometer range from my job location. So I created my advertisement, like my post on Kijiji and Marketplace, and many people, especially Indians, reach out to me, and I asked for the further information on the rental house. What is like, will there be any lease? What is the rental price? Whether it includes car parking or not? Multiple factors are there, and based on that, I choose one location. So one accommodation, it's very near to my house. It's 3.2 kilometers only, and Indians are living there, so I'll be sharing my house with the Indians only, and all are working professionals. So yes, I'd say that was a great deal. So yes, this is how I am, looking for new houses here in Canada.
Okay, so Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji, and you can advertise your requirement over there, and
Yes,
also the different groups on WhatsApp are there. So
yes,
you can join them to find the good accommodation, and also from the reference, you can ask your friend who is in Canada to
mm,
find the different accommodation near your job, or near your
yes,
workplace, or university. So that
Yes.
is one important things on accommodation. Like should should they keep it some budget in their mind, like monthly budget, or like prepare some saving tips, or there is anything do you have to say?
Yes. See, first of all, for students, the only job that they can get, that is the minimum wage job
Yes, yeah.
here. I would say for the 98% students,
Minimum like
they'll be
15
doing
$15, right?
yes, minimum wage job. I'll also call these jobs like survival jobs.
Yeah.
These are not like growth jobs that right now I am in, where I'm getting, more than
Handsome
70
amount of
plus
yeah.
k. Yeah, yes, it's not like this. So when it comes to investment, I don't think so they will be able to save that much money for investment, because see, they have to pay their college or university fees, some extra expenses are there, right? So if I talk about my expenses 2019, so let's say I was making around 1100 something
Okay.
per month,
Yeah.
because I was not in any sort of like teaching assistant or that kind of university job. I was doing just Walmart job at the time.
Okay.
So, and let's say, so if we calculate this data in percentage, so let's say someone who is making, let's make this number as 1000. So let's say any student who is making 1000. So let's say for rent, if he's living in sharing, most
Mm-hmm.
of the students are living in sharing, so they will end up paying around 250. So let's say
Mm-hmm.
25 to 30% of your total salary goes directly into your rental only,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
room
Yeah.
rentals.
Yeah.
Uh, I would say 150 to 200 for your groceries. So that will be around, I would say 500, we can say 50% of your money will go to your
But nowadays, like,
accommodation. Yeah.
rent is increased. So if you are sharing with someone, so we will consider it like 300, right?
Yeah.
So that is good. And, due to the inflation and, the things going on, so the price is increased little bit. So
Mm.
for that, we will consider around like 200 maybe, right?
Yeah, it is around 500. So this is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And
Yeah.
let's say any student who is saving around $500 per month, it's okay. So let's say in one quarter from 4 months, we can hardly save $2,000. And I'm pretty sure nowadays universities fees are around 36 something, 36,000 or 40,000. So per semester fees is gonna be around, I would say maybe 10,000. So let's say
No,
in
per
one,
semester fees increased, right? So
yes,
these average
I'm
around like 13,000, around
yeah,
13.
so 10 to 13,000. Let's say you need to
Yeah.
pay 10 to 13,000 dollars of fees, and you are just saving 2,000. Yes, it's a small contribution that you can make towards your college or university fees, but still there is a big chunk of your quarterly fees that you need to pay. And
Hmm.
someone who is not having any loan, then he might find himself in a big trouble.
Hmm.
So yes, so I have seen like most of the students, they are not investing at all, at least in their initial 2 years. But once they are in like well settled, like
Yeah.
good job, then they will start doing investment either in stocks or like, or in some other sort of like mutual funds. I have seen some people.
So that is very, very good point over there. So yeah, so Sagar, like that is very wonderful point over there. And like it is very very important to save in those amount. But if you are in student life, you will not save much here, because you have to save different amount for your fees, semester fees. But you can like save like 50 to $100. It's depend upon your circumstances. But first the priority is you have to accumulate the amount for your fees, and then you can save for your different things. So thank you, Sagar, for joining this podcast,
Yes,
and
thanks.
thank you so
You're
much for
welcome.
your time.
Yes. Yes. I'm very excited to join your next podcast. Yes, definitely we will discuss more on different, social and I'd say financial aspects of the students or those who are in Canada.
If you like this type of podcast, please let me know in comment section, and what topics we will discuss in the next podcast. Please let us know, so we will figure it out. And yeah, please like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. This is me, Kaival Shah again, and enjoy the podcast. Thank you.